A man's dream. The survival of the fittest. The mark of a true sportsman. The risks of injury coupled with uncertainty, but also the joys and thrills of victory. A victory one strives for through countless hours and the efforts of a team. And yet when one is in the heat of competition, it's him and his machine. The stock car, a man's dream, providing thrills and victory for all. A new season, new machines, new attitudes, all striving for the championship. In the GM Motorsport National Stock Car Series, a series that's won in many a dream. And so today, the beginning of that dream, a new year, a new season, and maybe a new championship. This is the GM Motorsport Hour, brought to you by General Motors of Canada Limited. Quality GM parts, the expert choice. And by Sony, the one and only. The champions. 1991 could prove to be a return to the podium for the GM Motorsport inaugural champion, RUSS URLIN. But current defending champion Randy McDonald is looking to stand tall on that top step. One thing is for sure, if either should foul up, there are 35 other men standing in line in hopes of fulfilling their own personal dreams and ambitions of becoming the champion in their chosen sport. All winter long, inside locked garages, preparations have been a weekend or weeknight pastime. But today, that pastime turns into a full slate of duties, sleepless nights, travel, and constantly building and rebuilding their race machines. The season begins. 10 grueling races over 3 provinces and 7 different venues in the pursuit of victory. Today, the opening of that season in the GM Motorsport National Stock Car Series from Delaware Speedway Park near London, Ontario, the Chevrolet 200. I'm Jim Paulson. We have got a beautiful, glorious day at Delaware Speedway Park here in Ontario to start the 1991 GM National Stock Car Series Championship. Our co-host, Dave Moody, is back. And David, we couldn't have a better day. Now, can Randy McDonald hang on to this championship this year?
Well, he's got his work cut out for him. The big names have come out in search of the big payday at the end of the line. Junior Hanley is back and running for the full series. Harmon Beaver Dragon, the 2-time champion, is back running for the championship once again. And McDonald has had his problems so far in 1991. He's got a new car, a new crew. He's behind the 8 ball for the opener today.
Okay, they've had a couple of runs already in the States. What's happened there?
Well, so far it's been 3 races, 3 faces, as Robbie Crouch, Dave Dion, and Kevin LePage have visited Victory Lane. It's going to be a tough run here this afternoon. 200 laps on a very tough racetrack.
Even Bill Zardo Sr. is looking good up there in that front row. This is going to be exciting today, David.
Well, this is his home track. He's pumped up to run. He dominated qualifying earlier on, and he's going to be a tough man to beat off the inside pole.
Thank you, David. Now let's go to the action, and along pit row, would you welcome Eric Hollow?
Number 72, a familiar face to stock car racing, has returned. Junior Hanley sat out most of last year, entering only 2 races, but posting impressive victories in both of them. This year in 1991, he's committed to running the entire GM Motorsport National Stock Car Series. And the competitors should be concerned, including defending champion Randy McDonald. And the concerns should start right now, because one of those races Hanley won last year was right here at Delaware. It's almost that moment for the start. Our GM Motorsport National Stock Car Series official starter, John Halberd, flag in hand, waves the field away in these great conditions in southern Ontario today.
And now let's meet the starting field for today's race. On the pole from nearby Brampton, Ontario, Bill Zardo Sr. Outside from Montreal, Quebec, car number 11, Claude LECLERC, a Chevrolet Lumina. In row number 2, from Saint-Denis, Quebec, the 00 of Roger Leperle. Outside Leperle, starting 4th, the 6-time ACT champion, Robbie Crouch of Georgia, Vermont. In row number 3, from Center Harbor, New Hampshire, the rookie Brad Leighton in car number 1X. Outside row 3, in the Jim Salad Company Dodge, car number 10, Unity Maine's Ralph Nason. Row 4, from Oakville, Ontario, Junior Hanley in car number 72. And alongside Hanley, the 2-time series champion, Harmon Beaver Dragon from Milton, Vermont. Row number 5, young Rob Clark from London, Ontario, the Spencer Steele Chevrolet. And outside from Shelburne, Vermont, the number 21 of Kevin LePage. Row 6 to Derek Lynch and Randy McDonald, Russ Erlin and Jim Wiersma in 7. Row 8 to Carlton Robbie and Dave Eisen, John Paul Cabana, the veteran, in row number 9. Buzzy Bazanson and Rolly McDonald in 10. Dan Beede and Rod Sauder, row 11. 12 to John Greedy and Steve Monroe, SYLVAIN Metivier and Jess Stevens in 13. Yvonne Bedard and Billy Zardo Jr., Tony Corcoran and Gord Bennett in 15. Phil Pinkham and Pierre Provencal, Robbie Thompson, Andre Beaudoin, Donald Forte back toward the end of the pack as we're set to go green.
And the green flag flies. Billy Zardo, a little advantage on the inside as they dive down into corner 1, and away we go. Everyone away neatly, Dave, to start our brand new season. In fact, already a little bit of a runaway here. The fight for second.
Bill Zardo, the veteran on the inside of the pole, takes the early lead. Claude Leclerc holds off his fellow Quebec driver, Roger Leperle, to take the number 2 spot. Leperle in the 3rd position, then the 1X of Brad Leighton, and 48 Robbie Crouch going door-to-door for the number 4 spot.
You know, I wonder if we aren't even a little surprised off the top of the talent of this young Brad Leighton. Here's a young man who already might be going for Rookie of the Year honors. We go on board with Robbie Crouch.
Robbie Crouch moving the outside lane, getting by the rookie Brad Leighton, and he now begins to move in on the back bumper of Roger Leperle for the number 3 position. Crouch knows how to win races on any kind of racetrack. He's a 6-time ACT champion, but you're right, Jim, he's got his hands full with the youngster Brad Leighton in the 1X.
You know, if anyone is pumped, though, for this hometown crowd, it's got to be Bill Zardo Sr. I don't know what he did over the winter. He's ready to attack this year, though.
Well, he's racing in front of as close as he gets to his hometown crowd here on the GM Motorsports Series. He's a big favorite here at Delaware, and right now he's a big leader. He's got a good advantage in hand over the 11 of Claude Leclerc. Phil Pinkham's number 07 machine running slowly, and he's going to make an early, unscheduled stop on pit road in just a moment or so, I believe.
You know, I think with Bill Zardo stepping on it this early, and we're talking Bill Zardo Sr. running well out in front, he's forced the entire rest of the field here, Dave, to get on it as well. And look at this, even Junior Hanley now part of the show.
Junior Hanley and Robbie Crouch, 2 drivers who historically like to hang back, especially in these longer races. They don't have the luxury now, though. Bill Zardo has really opened it up, and Crouch is going to the outside in a hurry. He drives to the outside of Claude Leclerc. That's the battle for second place, right behind Junior Hanley and the rookie Brad Leighton.
Look at this, Claude Leclerc already being heavily challenged. In fact, you couldn't think of 2 more prominent challengers on this young man. Crouch gains his success, and now it's Hanley's turn.
Junior Hanley will try and follow the lead of Robbie Crouch around the outside, and Hanley does just as Crouch did a lap before, goes around the highway, does it the hard way on the 11 of Claude Leclerc, and they now move up to 2nd and 3rd. You can see Robbie Crouch diving deep into the corner, delaying the braking action long enough to go right around the outside of the 11 machine for 2nd.
Now, you know, it's a heated tempo early in this event, and yet no one is being overly daring. I thought actually all 4 cars drove beautifully on that particular pass procedure.
Well, you're looking at 4 drivers that know that this race is not going to be run about 10 laps in. This is a 200-lap main event. They don't pay any money for winning the 10th circuit. Robbie Crouch, though, is charging early. He likes to wait, save his car for the end, and for him to be in 2nd place at this juncture of the race means he's worried about Bill Zardo.
I don't know what it is about Robbie Crouch. This man just wants to go through life continually winning championships.
Well, it's not a bad way to be. Crouch is going to go right to the inside and look for the lead. Right in front of him now is the Bill Zardo automobile. 46 Zardo in the white car, your leader. Here's Crouch now looking down to the inside line. That number 48 Buick of Robbie Crouch running well anywhere on the racetrack he wants to put it.
Again, we're talking being in front of your hometown crowd. I don't think Zardo is going to surrender this one easily, but you can bet his eyes are maybe glued on the old rear view mirror right now because Crouch is right there.
And Bill Zardo knows exactly where Robbie Crouch is, and right now it's to the inside line as the 48 machine, working well down low, sticks his nose underneath Zardo one more time. A big pack of lap traffic ahead, though. We'll see if that helps Bill Zardo hold him off. Crouch again comes to the inside.
Okay, now can he pull this off successfully? Zardo Sr. says, no, it's not that rough out here, and they come on traffic. Whoa.
The number 43 machine of Donald Forte loops it right in front of the leaders, and a great piece of driving by both Bill Zardo and Robbie Crouch to avoid what could have been a rather disappointing early finish to a strong run so far.
All righty, we'll watch Forte bring that car down to the inside lip of the track, and we're back now with our new race leader, Robbie Crouch, and let's get a replay.
This ought to be interesting. There's the blue and white 43. Don Forte takes it right around broadside, and Robbie Crouch with maybe a sheet of paper worth of extra room getting around that spin. A very close call for the six-time champion. Crouch going up, and, well, let's give Bill Zardo a little credit, too. He gave Crouch some room to escape on the outside.
Okay, rest of the field come by neatly. Actually, I'm amazed in that incident that we did not have more that were directly involved. A quick glimpse at our current leaders. Bill Zardo Sr. out front, then Robbie Crouch. Junior Hanley in there running third. We'll be right back.
Back in the pits, number 49, Rob Clark. Obviously not a routine stop this early in the race. Looks like he's got a defective pulley. They're going to try and make some repairs and try and get back into this race. Now here comes 05, Frank Hawley. Yet another early casualty, and he'll be several laps down if he can make it back.
The name Frank Hawley may ring a bell from other racing action. Strange to see him on the oval, Dave.
Indeed it is. Of course, Frank Hawley, the driver of Darrell Gwynn's Top Fuel dragster on the NHRA Series. His first shot on an oval track, and unfortunately, it's going to be a short one today.
Field comes through, the back to the Queen. Zardo grabs it, but hey, Crouch right beside him. They're side by side into corner one. Crouch pulls away in corner two.
Once again, Robbie Crouch extremely strong on the outside, and we've got a new leader. 48 Robbie Crouch, and right behind, as he has been all afternoon long, Junior Hanley in the 72.
You know, Junior may have him here. They come back to corners 3, 4, into the front straight, and Junior begins to pull away.
Three-car breakaway at the front right now. Crouch, Hanley, and Zardo, the new top three, but the field not far behind, trying to reel them in. Of course, Claude Leclerc still running strongly in the fourth spot, but he's got a big pack of traffic on his tail.
Here are the race leaders. Robbie Crouch currently running first. What a champion, proving, well, two champions in front here. It's exciting to see them going at each other.
Indeed, these two have got a lot of battles under their belts over the years, and here's another one as Junior Hanley now shows some strength on the inside of turn two, and he just drives underneath Robbie Crouch as they hit three. Hanley puts his nose out in front, and the third leader of the young afternoon is Junior Hanley as he pulls right in front of Robbie Crouch.
There's that glimpse from Robbie's car that even he doesn't like to see, and that is a Hanley in front of him, but there's still a long race to go. This is worth looking at, though, David, one more time.
Indeed it is. All kinds of horsepower under the hood of car number 72, and that's the kind of power that put Junior Hanley in victory lane last time the GM Motorsports Series visited Delaware. Junior Hanley just got the advantage down the back straightaway, had that preferred inside line through turn 3 and 4, and by the time they get back to the start-finish, it's all over. Hanley is the leader, and Hanley is pulling away in car number 72.
Well, you mentioned power. Now, maybe it was the choice of power, or is going to be the choice of power that will decide what happens here at Delaware. There were a few gambles here before the start.
Well, indeed there were, and Robbie Crouch, one of the few automobiles in this field, running with a V6 power plant. Much smaller power plant, much smaller engine, and a good deal less horsepower. Crouch hopes to make that up with better handling and lesser tire wear on a lighter race car. But right now, at least in the early going, the clear advantage goes with Junior Hanley.
Boy, I think so. Well, okay, we just had a quick glimpse there of the one young man we don't want to ignore, Claude Leclerc. He may be dropping off a little bit in the Lumina right now, but I would watch for him to fight back or try to return. He's certainly right up on Bill Zardo Sr. right now.
Zardo, who led the race in the early going, has dropped back to the number 3 spot, and he's going to have a challenge here very shortly as the field moves around, goes past the slow automobile of Gord Bennett. They also put a lap on the Wayne Howden machine on the back straightaway, and it's turning into a 2-car race. Junior Hanley with 5 car lengths in hand over Robbie Crouch as they race the front chute.
Beautiful conditions again here at Delaware. Track conditions ideal. Surface has all been redone. It's really the first major race activity they've had here in 1991, and I'll tell you, our competitors are taking full advantage of it.
They sure are. A full house of race fans on hand here to enjoy the action. And once again, here's the battle for third. Bill Zardo, who's dropped back a bit, has got his hands full. The 11 of Claude Leclerc and 1X, Brad Leighton, right there hanging on to the top 5 spot.
Well, Brad Leighton, I don't know that much about. I get a feeling we're going to learn a bit about this young man. He's certainly hanging in. Look at this. Now he has a go at Leclerc, in fact, but now Claude pulls away. The wily veteran sort of fooled him in that corner.
Well, we talked about V6 power. Brad Leighton's another driver with a 6-banger under the hood. Here's Robbie Crouch once again working the front chute and another spin right in front of the leaders. As the car goes around, 2 cars go around, and Junior Hanley and Robbie Crouch for the second time this afternoon forced to thread their way through the wreckage as we go back to yellow. And that's Pierre Provencal in car number 61, the TG Quickly's Barbecue Chevrolet. He's come to a rest up against the outside retaining wall.
In fact, we're so tight in this shot, I can't spot all the damage that has happened on the Lumina, but Pierre's okay. He's moving around inside here. I don't know if he's going to make an attempt to exit within a moment or not. This, again, worth a replay. Watching these guys thread this needle was something to behold.
Well, 2 rookies running side by side. 61 Provencal and Don Forte once again comes down into that low groove, bumps the 61 machine. Both cars spin, and there's Junior Hanley forced to thread the needle one more time today. It has not been easy for the leaders at the front.
Again, a little glimpse at the damage here on 61, Pierre Provencal, but that'll get us back to a yellow, Dave. Slow things down a little bit. Certainly, it'll give Robbie Crouch a chance to get a little tighter on Junior Hanley. Bill Zardo Sr. is still right there. So's Claude Leclerc. We will be right back.
The leaders as we return to Delaware. Junior Hanley is back in 91, and he is out front in car number 72. Robbie Crouch, though, beside him on this restart.
Robbie Crouch, Bill Zardo, Claude Leclerc, Brad Leighton, and Ralph Nason in the first 3 rows. And once again, at the drop of the green, Hanley drives away. Crouch with a look down to the inside. But once again, that horsepower under the hood of car number 72 allows Hanley to pull away with the lead.
Keep thinking Robbie Crouch is going to be hoping for yellows all afternoon here. He has a peak on the inside, decides better of it. He'll let Hanley go a little bit here as they come up on one of the back markers.
The lap car of Bill Zardo Jr. just coming off pit road as the field got back to green, so he's going to lose himself a lap here in very short order. Hanley and Crouch go by. Bill Zardo Sr., then Jr. tucks it in behind Dad, but he's a lap down to the field.
Look at this. He has a peak again at the inside, but again, Junior Hanley frustrates him. Junior is staying sort of mid-track and maintaining control here.
Robbie Crouch using a lot of the track. He was inside the inside that time. Here we are a bit further back in the field. Randy McDonald in the GM Parts Pro Shop machine. Right in front of him, Rolly McDonald, the Pick 2 Nova Scotia driver. The Golden Arches are up as the McDonalds running side by side, and Randy McDonald very much sideways out of that corner, and that allows Buzzy Bezanson to duck underneath. The Andre Beaudoin machine going around. Randy McDonald is in trouble. He's pulling high on the track and rolling to a stop.
You're right, Dave. Had to be a problem here. Hard for us to judge from this vantage point. Let's have a look here at the shadow. Actually, he's been conspicuous by his absence in today's run, and it looks like a tire, Dave.
Left rear tire has gone soft on the GM Parts Pro Shop machine. The caution flag is out. Randy McDonald, you can see just coming into the picture at the top of the screen, going very high on the racetrack as the field makes its way by. McDonald really with no choice but to get it out of the groove, and it's the left front tire that's gone soft on car number 01.
You know, there's no question. He's probably the most beautifully decked out of, mind you, a lot of the cars look great in this first run of the season. It's later in the year they all begin to look a little war-weary.
They'll reorganize for a restart. Junior Hanley and Robbie Crouch, Bill Zardo Sr. and Claude Leclerc, Brad Leighton still hanging into the top 5. Let's go back in time and take a look back at the pit stop competition.
In the GM Parts Pit Stop Competition, first round for 1991. 15 competitors already in the book. Looks like Ralph Nason on top, 20.88. Bill Zardo Sr. right behind him, 21.52. Then Kevin LePage, Junior Hanley. Then our GM Pit Stop vehicle moves into position. It's Jean-Paul Cabana at the wheel. Here comes his crew. The procedure again, the 2 right tires have to be changed. They've got to add the dab of gas. They've got to take care of the windshield. In fact, when Dave Moody called it live, it was wild.
Has got some potential. They've got a good run going here. Excellent job. The car is down. Ladies and gentlemen, 19.624. 19.624 for the 5A team, and they've been doing their homework. All right, don't put the money in the bank yet. We'll wait for the penalties. It's not over yet. No penalties for Cabana. 19.624, and that's going to be tough to beat. Look at the old man. Look at the old man.
John Paul Cabana in the arms of Patrick, one of the crew members who used to play for the Alouettes, by the way, so he's not burdened by that load. Here we are, the GM Parts Pit Stop Competition, final standings, round 1 this year. Jean Paul Cabana on top on 19.62. I'll tell you, round 2 is going to be exciting. Now, back to the current race, and the leader is Junior Hanley. Back to the race action. They're under green one more time.
Green flag comes out, and once again it's Hanley off the inside line, taking the lead over Robbie Crouch. Crouch ducks it back in line, and he'll hold on to the number 2 position. These two drivers so far have looked like the class of the field. They'll try and break away once again, but right behind and up there, still hanging on to 3rd place, is the 46 of Bill Zardo.
And the fact is, this time it's a nice clean start all the way around the field. The starts, in fact, have gone rather well. I still can't get over this young Brad Leighton 1X right up on Bill Zardo Sr., and it is a fight for 3rd place.
Well, prior to the 1991 season, Brad Leighton was a track champion, but he'd never driven any kind of a race car any more potent than a street stock automobile. Gardner Levitt, one of the great veterans of the American-Canadian Tour, retired this season, put the rookie in his car, and he really has come on strong, and right now he is running a solid 4th behind Bill Zardo.
Well, Crouch might be able to gain a little bit in the corners here, but I think I see what you mean now, Dave. Once you get Hanley on that front straight, he blows away.
He does. He's got a big horsepower advantage. He's going to come up and put a lap on the Wayne Howden automobile very shortly here. Junior Hanley running a V8 machine. We've got trouble on the front chute. That's the Steve Monroe Chevrolet, car number 08. Monroe from Carp, Ontario, has gotten turned around on the front straightaway. Does not look like he's made any severe contact with anyone or anything. As a matter of fact, he does a very nice parallel park, but not so lucky is Sylvain Metivier in car number 82. He has got, as you can well see, some severe damage on the front end of that machine.
You know what amazes me, though, in this world of racing is I wouldn't be surprised to see Sylvain back in about a lap or 2. If he gets it, in fact, back to his pit. He may not even do that, though, Dave.
Frank Hawley is also involved in the 05 machine. Metivier obviously has a good deal of damage, at least cosmetic damage on the front end, and it looks, from the look of things, that he may have holed the radiator, although that looks like motor oil. He may have had an engine problem. That may even have been what started the incident.
Boy, now there is a stripped-down stock car, my friends. It gives you a little glimpse into some of the inner workings, certainly. I think what we should do is have a replay on the incident here.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened as the cars got sideways. Up on the outside, the 7 of Dave Eisen gets sideways. Oh, and driving into the back is Carlton Robbie. Sends the 08 for a spin. That's Steve Monroe. There's Frank Hawley spinning into the picture. Jim Wiersma taking evasive action, but still no sign of Sylvain Metivier. I've got a feeling he got a piece of the concrete wall on the outside.
75th lap down, the leaders, Junior Hanley, Robbie Crouch in second, then Bill Zardo Sr., Leighton, and LeClerc.
In the pit of number 1X Brad Leighton, what happened up there?
Our car's getting a little bit loose right now. We're about 70, 80 laps in the race, good time for fuel, so we decided to come in, put fresh rear tires on, and get fuel.
So a routine pit stop for you?
Pretty much. I think we're pretty safe right now.
Tires wearing well?
Haven't looked yet. I'm going to look right now. But the car's running pretty good, real good. High torque motor that we got. We're the only V6 in the whole field, so we're running pretty good.
So it's that stage of the race where the pit stops should be coming up on a regular basis. How will it affect our current leaders here? Junior Hanley, Robbie Crouch still out in front, and we come back to another green. They're side by side once more.
And a bit of a jump on the outside that time by Robbie Crouch in the 48, but once again, we've seen it before, and we'll see it again. Junior Hanley with the horsepower edge on the inside drives away with the lead. Crouch back in line in second, and a good fight for third between Bill Zardo, the 00 Roger LaPerle, and a new player in the top 5, 21, Kevin LePage.
Suddenly, Kevin LePage becoming a factor here. Junior Hanley, when he dived down there, seemed to catch a real lump in the corner, but it has not deterred him at all. Robbie Crouch now says, I'll have a peek on the inside. Junior goes high again. I wouldn't say warding him off, Dave, but keeping the man in his place.
No question about it. Junior Hanley doesn't want to lose the lead, but with only 84 or 85 laps down, it wouldn't be the end of the world right now. As we mentioned before, both of these drivers running very uncharacteristic races here this afternoon. We've got a spin in turn number 4. That's the 11 of Claude LECLERC. LECLERC had been running in the top 5. The Auto Pro Chevrolet goes around, and that's a tough break for Claude LECLERC. Pierre Provencal, the 61 for the second time today, facing backwards in the corner as well.
Well, he may have done some damage on the other side last time. This time he took care of this side. We can see him on the inside at the top of our screen. Let's see how the incident develops.
Claude LECLERC got tagged from behind, and the number 11 machine spinning around in the corner. Field taking evasive action. A bad break for Claude LECLERC after he pitted. Now he's turned around, but it could have been a whole lot worse. He was at the back of the pack anyway after the pit stop. He'll just have to start over.
Well, Pierre Provencal had all sorts of bodywork flapping on him there, but we are going to let him get back to the pits, and we get back to the race. A green flag, and Junior Hanley still in front.
Hanley with a big break that time, and Bill Zardo is trying to follow him through on that inside line, but again, Robbie Crouch holds him off. So those top 3 drivers content to hold their spot right now. Hanley the leader in the 72, then the 48 of Crouch, 46 Zardo. Right behind him is Bill Zardo Jr., but Junior's a lap down. He got lapped just before the caution flag. He's just trying to hang in there, and who knows, maybe he can get that lap back a little later on.
Leaders come through into the front straight. I love this speed cam shot mounted at the side of the track. We get the real impression of the tempo being set here at Delaware this afternoon by these, well, 3 to be honest, but Junior Hanley's in front. Crouch has it going in the corners, but again, drops back on the straightaway.
And there's the battle that's shaping up for 4th. The red 00 of Roger LaPerle, then Kevin LePage in the 21, the 10 of Ralph Nason. LePage and Nason have been picking their way through this field. Brad Leighton, of course, went to the pits, gave up the 5th spot, and those 2 drivers, veterans as they are, have picked their time to come up through. Another spin on the track. That's the 53 of Dan Beede in the Champlain Farms Buick. He is quickly right back underway. Another car in the infield. That's Yvon Bedard in car number 9. So turn 3 and 4 continues to give these drivers problems.
What is this? Everybody's gone gardening today on the infield. Fortunately, they chose areas where they were pretty wide open runoffs, and they got back to the track safely, maybe just 3-4 positions down.
They've lost some position on the track as the caution flag did not come out, so the battle continues. There's the yellow number 10 of Ralph Nason, and right behind him, Jean-Paul Cabana. The 5A is on the move. He's moved underneath Roger LaPerle, and Cabana, who's had a tough season so far, has his first good run of the year going here this afternoon.
Jean-Paul Cabana doing good in the pit stop competition. All he wants is a couple of more victories this year, if he can pull it off, Dave.
Jean-Paul Cabana coming into 1991 with 498 career checkered flags. He needs 2 more for 500, and we've got a yellow flag on the field. Caution flag is out, and that's Rod Sauder in car number 73, the Van Herk Realtors Buick. Apparently he's had himself some problems, and he's going to bring it right down pit road now.
Love that Canadian flag on this Rod Sauder entry out of Southern Ontario. Rookie this year. Oh, here's the leader.
Leader Junior Hanley, but maybe perhaps not for too long. He has pulled up on the pace car, and it looks like he's coming onto pit road. Let's go to the pits and Eric.
We're in Junior Hanley's pit. How are things so far after 100 laps?
This car feels pretty good. It's just a little bit on the loose side, but we'll be all right.
This is going to be a scheduled stop. Tire wear's good.
Seems to be, and it's hard to tell until we get them off and have a look at them, but since the car's staying pretty consistent, so we're all right.
Junior Hanley gives up the lead, hands it to Robbie Crouch. Zardo, LaPerle, LePage, and Nason, the top 5. We'll be back.
We're back with the Chevrolet 200 on the 122nd lap here at Delaware. The leader is Robbie Crouch, Bill Zardo Sr. in second, then LePage, Nason, and Jean-Paul Cabana, the big 5A, sitting in 5th.
On the outside of row number 1, that's the lap car of Dan Beede. So now it's going to be a tricky situation for Bill Zardo. He's going to have to go from the outside to the inside. He does it rather nicely. Dan Beede in the 53 showing some good strength, and Beede gets back onto the lead lap in car number 53 after being involved in that spin out earlier. Beede, a former track champion in Barrie, Vermont at the Thunder Road Speedway, back on the lead lap, but perhaps only momentarily. Here comes Crouch again.
Oh, no, hold on to it, Dan. Of course, he's right quickly hoping for yellow, give me a yellow. No, in fact, it's still possible. Crouch is up beside him, though, but look at Beede now begin to fight.
Crouch, I'm sure, would rather not expend a whole lot of race car getting around Dan BEEDE, but the youngster from Barrie, Vermont, hanging tough on the outside, but this time Crouch gets back underneath him. Crouch and Bill Zardo still running 1 and 2, but BEEDE now runs between the two, and he may be a tough act for Bill Zardo to overcome on the back straightaway.
Oh, look at this. BEEDE still wants to fight, in fact, and Junior Hanley suddenly becomes a factor one more time. Now, he made the pit stop. Was that the wise move in this race?
Well, we'll find out at the end of 200 laps. Hanley knew he needed to pit for tires and fuel at some point in this race. Now, apparently, was as good a time as any. But the task now for Hanley, fighting his way back through this heavy pack of traffic.
Look at Junior Hanley work, too. It's interesting just to watch this. Talk about a master. What a joy to have him in this series. Beaver Dragon, though, is saying, why is he back?
Beaver Dragon showing in 8th. He's no spring chicken in a race car either. Beaver Dragon, a 2-time ACT champion with nearly 30 years of experience under his belt, and that's a pretty good twosome coming out of the rear of the field. Dragon in 8th, Hanley in 9th, and you can bet they're both going to be back in the picture before very long.
Interesting here to go on board with Beaver Dragon in number 75, the Mackenzie Meets What's Your Beef entry, and trust Beaver and his sense of humor for that support.
What's Your Beef is a steak restaurant in Beaver's hometown of Vermont, and Beaver Dragon just gave up a spot to Junior Hanley. He's not alone. Hanley blows underneath Randy McDonald, and the next man squarely in his sights is Russ Erlin in car number 8. Junior Hanley is not wasting any time coming back from the rear of the field.
By the way, Randy McDonald there, the big 0-1, our reigning champion, was in fact assessed a penalty. And now another incident here on track.
Junior Hanley gets into the back end of Buzzy Bezanson. The 2 car goes around. Hanley perhaps a little bit overly energetic that time, trying to make a hole to the inside where there was not one, and Bezanson in the 2 pays the price.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Junior would never give someone a little nudge or a tap, but no, not usually that aggressive, is he, Dave? Certainly bunted him out of the way. He's now sitting in 8th place.
It's a situation where one driver was trying to hit a hole that the other driver was already in. Buzzy Bezanson comes up on the short end of the stick that time. And Junior Hanley, you're right, that is not ordinarily his style of driving. He is not a bump and run kind of racer. And look once again at how Junior Hanley puts the horsepower to work, ducks underneath Russ Erlin, and just blows him away on the inside of the front straightaway. But watch car number 2, Buzzy Bezanson, down in that low groove. Hanley with 2 wheels down in the grass. Yeah, that was a mistake for Junior Hanley, no question about it.
Yeah, it really was. He was not going to surrender, though, for a moment. That's a debatable one. Can we flip a coin on who might have been at fault there?
Well, that's one of the great questions in this sport of auto racing. When 2 drivers fight over the same piece of asphalt, who's at fault? Junior Hanley continues to circulate under caution. Let's get to know the man a bit better with Michael Charbon.
The 3 main factors in stock car racing is a good car, a good driver, and an efficient crew. Junior Hanley takes those first 2 factors with flying colors. Not only is Junior Hanley an accomplished winning short track stock car driver, he's also a stock car builder. In 1990, Junior Hanley only competed in 2 events in the GM Series, of which he won both of them. In 1991, Junior Hanley is committed to compete in all of the GM Motorsport National Stock Car Series events in search for the lucrative Point Fun title.
Well, you can go in a series and like run a few races and really run good, but like to run the whole series and run good every race is really hard. You gotta, you know, like sometimes you gotta finish for 10th or 12th or whatever, but you gotta finish that series, and if you don't finish, you don't get any points. So it's really hard, you know. You can go one place and run really good, and the next place you ain't really that good. So you gotta just finish wherever you need to finish. If you gotta finish 15th, you finish 15th.
This 47-year-old Campbellville, Ontario native formerly owned a stock car business where he designed and manufactured the tubular chassis for competition vehicles.
We used to have a business and we sold out to another guy, so now like the guy's still building cars and stuff, and we still help the guy out. And so we can work on their car more than, you know, like we work on the car pretty well every day. And, you know, we know the car inside and out, and a lot of other guys, you know, they just work on their cars on the weekend and stuff. And we have an advantage there, but it's a lot of good drivers out there now, and it's a lot of teams that has a lot of money, and they got real good equipment, so it's a lot harder to win a race.
When the number 72 of Junior Hanley enters on the track, he has a confident and sometimes intimidating racing style. In 1991, with a Hanley behind the wheel and a Hanley on the track, racers, beware, Hanley is back.
No question the fans of the nation certainly excited about and want to welcome back Junior Hanley. The other competitors, I don't know. Here are the current leaders. Interesting lineup. Look out for Russ URLIN out of London.
Russ URLIN, the '89 GM Series champion, running limited engagements this season, not running a whole lot of races, but he's a factor in this one. Once again, it's Robbie Crouch and Bill Zardo. Zardo kicks it right around sideways out of turn number 4, and that certainly will put him back to the number 2 spot. Then the 2 lapped automobiles, 53 Dan Beede and the 40 of Billy Zardo Jr. So once again, it's a 2-car break at the front of the pack. Crouch and Bill Zardo, then the lap car of Dan Beede, who's as quick as anybody out there right now, trying to get back on the lead circuit.
I'm just curious here whether Zardo just overpowered it or if it isn't in fact time for him to maybe grab some new rubber. Seemed a little slippery for him. Look at this! Oh my goodness! The entire midfield involved, and URLIN right up here against the wall looking at us.
John Paul Cabana got pinched hard into the inside retaining wall, got a piece of Russ URLIN, and URLIN hard into it. Over a dozen cars littered all over the racetrack. Claude LECLERC is in it. There's the 13, Rollie McDonald. Brad Leighton trying to get away in the 1X. Here come the leaders. Junior Hanley is at the top of the track, and he has just been lapped by Robbie Crouch in the 48.
Look at this, and now he's still trying to get it around. Reverse, forward, okay, here we are first. Now he's got it pulled around. I don't think Cabana is going to get back at all, though. He would be out of it. Jimmy Wiersma, a rookie, while he gets it moving.
That's a major turn of events. Jean-Paul Cabana and Russ URLIN look like they're out of it. There's URLIN just taking a look at the remains of his destroyed budget rent-a-car machine, but a major turn of events for Junior Hanley. Let's look at it one more time. Take a look at the right-hand side of your picture, and there's Jean-Paul Cabana pinched into the inside wall, hits hard, gets a piece of Russ URLIN, and the field now just scrambling for life. Look at Beaver Dragon heading straight for the wall in the 75. Hanley gets nailed. Randy McDonald somehow ducks through his Russ URLIN's car, trying to find a way out of the racetrack right now. And the big story, though, once again, is Junior Hanley. Here's the 72, and let's keep an eye on his little part of this shuffle. It's already coming apart in front of him. The 72 gets nailed from behind as the field stacks up. And before Hanley can refire that automobile, the leader, Robbie Crouch, comes by under caution and puts him 1 lap down to the field.
Wasn't that something? I was trying to get a count going here, and I think the total is something like around 14 different cars that at least got one piece of that action. Hood come back totally now, and Jean-Paul Cabana's entry, he's done. Current leaders, where do we stand? Robbie Crouch still in front. Zardo Sr., Nason Dragon, and Buzzy Bazanson.
Little disappointing finish to today's activities.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed, especially the guy he cut me. You know, that's a guy with a lot of experience. I can't understand the guy with a lot of experience. This guy, he cut me for nothing. I'm very bad, you know. That's the 3rd accident I have in 3rd week. And that's not my fault completely. I know I'm at 5th position, you know, I have a very good chance for finish 1st or 2nd. But the reason my car was full of gas, you know, and I'm okay for the rest of the race.
How's the car? Badly damaged?
Very bad, you know. Everything is bent now. Thank you very much.
Russ, brand new car doesn't look so good today.
Doesn't look so good right now, but it was pretty good for a while.
You're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Feelings are hurt.
What happened out there?
I guess the guys just don't want me to go to the front. I think Cabana, instead of lifting the way he should have when I got in the groove, he decided just to run over top of me, and not much I can do when I get hit from behind.
Reminds me of your earlier comment, Dave, about the 2 big bits of equipment fighting for the 1 piece of property.
6,000 pounds of race cars trying to fight over 6 inches of racetrack. I don't think those 2 will be inviting each other to dinner anytime soon. Field is back and under the green flag once again. And once again, it's Robbie Crouch in car number 48 taking over the lead. There's Junior Hanley. He is 1 lap down, restarting in the number 3 position on the track. And Hanley is not going to waste any time. He may have been being patient before. That's all out the window. He's got to pass Robbie Crouch, then come all the way back through and do it again if he wants to win this race.
Oh, look at this. Hanley is by. It's been one of those sort of yellow flag days here in Delaware, so I think for Hanley, this has got to be a good move. He knows there might be another incident. Adrenaline seems to be flowing here in Southern Ontario. Crouch drops back a touch.
No question about it. Hanley now has just got to put the hammer down. He's got new right side tires, a full tank of gasoline, and he's got to abuse that race car every single step of the way. He's got to come all the way around and catch the field, and then he's got to catch Robbie Crouch, which so far today, not a lot of folks have had much luck doing.
We got to look at this pass one more time. It's a key pass, of course, for Junior Hanley. He does it neatly by Robbie Crouch. Here's a couple of guys who don't argue about the property they want.
You have to wonder, Junior Hanley looking awfully strong on that pass. Did Robbie Crouch perhaps let him go, or was he running as hard as he could? I guarantee if Robbie Crouch could have kept Junior on the one lap down side of the ledger without abusing his own race car, he would have done it. But again, Crouch has yet to make a pit stop. He's gone the whole distance so far on the same set of tires.
Okay, that's a very good point you bring up, Dave. We've seen Junior Hanley in. Crouch, no. A couple of other members of this field have not made it in as yet. We're watching Robbie Crouch. He is, in fact, the race leader, and look at this. You don't see anyone around him on that view.
But he does not seem to be suffering at all, as Bill Zardo, though, is suffering. That car just went straight to the top of the track, and he handed second place to that beautiful number 10 of Ralph Nason, the Chrysler LeBaron, coming up through the field. He now is second.
There's Ralph Nason running in second. Bill Zardo Sr. They don't waste any time scooting by the field, both riding high on the track, then they cut down low. Beautiful facility, by the way, here at Delaware.
And Bill Zardo racing on his home track, beginning to have some problems now. The 46 getting a little bit loose in the rear end, and that is a sure sign of a tired right rear tire.
Well, I thought Nason looked a little wobbly there. I don't know. Some areas of the course, I think, are getting okay, look at this incident. Oh, yes.
Oh, Bill Zardo getting a little love tap from behind from the Yvonne Bedard machine. No harm, no foul that time, but at the front of the pack, it is all Robbie Crouch. The only racing he's doing, is with lapped cars, and Claude Leclerc pointing the wrong way at the top of turn number 1 will bring out the caution flag once again.
Well, you can certainly see the rubber being laid down here at this lovely Delaware facility that I had stressed, but a little slippery. No, look at this. They're coming out of the grass even.
Rob Clark apparently involved in that little shuffle as well. And, you know, it all goes back to what we were just talking about, worn out tires. These drivers have gone a long way on the same set of tires. I think that was just a situation of Rob Clark getting in a little bit too hot and taking the car around. Bill Zardo is coming down to the inside. The 46 is coming in. Junior Hanley is coming in for the second time today, and it looks like left side tires this time. So Hanley, with only 20 or 30 laps on the right side, now is going to have brand new lefts. And as fast as the 72 was a few moments ago, he may be even faster after this stop.
Zardo in for his first stop of the day. Crew hard at work on the right side of his car.
The Bill Zardo all-on crane service team, one of the top crews on the GM Motorsports Series. They'll get him a pair of right-side sneakers in a hurry. Here are the standings just prior to the pit stops. Crouch and Nason running 1 and 2, then Zardo, Dragon, and Bezanson.
Less than 10 laps, just about 10 laps remaining now. I guess Robbie is hearing every little noise of the car.
Probably, yeah. He's probably pretty nervous because we took a bit of a gamble on the fuel. We're just hoping it'll make the whole distance.
How close are we getting?
To be honest with you, I'm not really sure, but we figured we could go to 220.
Well, Carl Osha, Robbie's crew chief, semi-sure about the moves they've made here, Dave.
Well, it's a major gamble for Crouch despite the nonchalant attitude by Carl Osha, but another big story shaping up is Junior Hanley. Hanley on the caution was allowed to come all the way around and catch the rear end of the field. He is cutting through this field like a hot knife through butter. He is fourth now and gaining ground rapidly on Beaver Dragon for the number 3 position. There's the leader, Robbie Crouch. There's Dragon, and here comes Hanley up the outside. He is absolutely flying in that 72 machine.
I think suddenly Beaver Dragon is saying, and we get his view of it, he could not hold him off. He must be saying, where did this man come from? Now, Junior goes to work one more time.
He is around Dragon for third, and right in front, that yellow number 10 is Ralph Nason. Nason is the only other car other than Robbie Crouch that has not pitted today. So he's rolling the dice as much as Crouch is, and right now he's got 2 problems, gas mileage and Junior Hanley.
Well, very few laps remain. Crouch may pull it off here, but I don't know about this gamble, Dave.
Less than 5 laps remaining for Crouch, but these are the crucial 5. That tank has got to be near empty. Same for Ralph Nason. As he tries to hold off Junior Hanley, he cannot lift and conserve fuel, Jim. He's got to run hard to try and hold the 72 behind him. Hanley to the inside, bumps Nason, who gets sideways. He's into the lap car, gathers it back up. Nason holding on. Here comes Beaver Dragon down to the inside.
Oh, look at this. Now it really is a coin toss, and Nason is still holding in here, but he's not getting rid of Junior Hanley.
2 laps to go. Robbie Crouch is home free if the car finishes for him, but here's the battle, and I do mean a battle. Ralph Nason in the number 10 and the 72 of Hanley coming up to the outside. Hanley challenging. Here they come. Down to the line. Nason holding second. Hanley third. Beaver Dragon fourth. Look at the right front corner of Hanley's car. He's got a piece of Ralph Nason hanging out of the bodywork.
Well, let's not ignore the fact that this is going to be Robbie Crouch's day. Unbelievable. Robbie makes it to the checkered flag.
Robbie Crouch, unbelievable. 200 laps on a single tank of gas across the line to win it. The battle coming down for second. It's Nason by a nose. Hanley finishes third. Beaver Dragon less than a half a car length back for fourth. A tremendous finish to a great race here today at Delaware International Speedway. Robbie Crouch, 200 laps on a single tank of gasoline and 4 tires.
Robbie Crouch, the race winner at Delaware to start our 1991 GM Motorsport National Stock Car Series. Nason in second, then Junior Hanley. Beaver Dragon, Derek Lynch third. There's the man. A wave to this record crowd today. Certainly a hug and a hearty handshake to every member of the crew. Boy, I tell you, their jobs may have been on the line with this call today, but in fact the call worked beautifully for Robbie. Let's go to him and Dave Moody.
I'll shake your hand after that one. I'll tell you what, I talked to just about every driver on pit road today. There's not a one of them that thought anybody was going to go the distance. Was that the plan, or is it just the way it sugared out?
Well, it's kind of what I wanted to do, but I was going to play it by ear. I thought for a while if Junior stayed out, then I'd probably come in because I couldn't do much with him. But then when he went in, I said, well, that's just perfect for me because I really wanted to try to go the whole distance. I thought the tires would make it. I knew it would be close. Anytime you gamble like that, it's going to be close. But exactly what happened to him, he got caught up in that accident down there. And, you know, that's kind of what cost him the race. And I was afraid that might happen to me as well. So it's a good strategy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We're just happy that it worked today for us.
Tremendous performance. Congratulations. On top of the GM standings after one, your second win of the year. A truly outstanding performance today.
To start the new fight for the GM Motorsport National Stock Car Series Championship, Robbie Crouch up there with 108 points. Junior Hanley, though, moves into second with 102 because Junior did a little better in the qualifying rounds. And, of course, you get points by being the lap leader. Junior Hanley had a total of 79.
Dave Moody, did it happen the way you thought it might for round one in this series?
Absolutely not. I don't know how they do it, but this was a tremendous race. No question, Robbie Crouch and Ralph Nason really pulled a rabbit out of the hat today. I don't think anybody thought they could do it, but they managed to pull it off. And I'll tell you what, Junior Hanley is back.
I was going to say, in 1991, look out. This man may be very much a factor.
No question about it. This is his kind of racetrack, and I guarantee when we get to Mosport and Santa Air, Junior Hanley's going to run.
For Dave Moody and Derek Hollow, I'm Jim Paulson. It's been a great afternoon from Delaware International Speedway. The GM Motorsport Hour has been brought to you by General Motors of Canada Limited, Quality GM Parts, the expert choice, and by Sony, the one and only. This program is copyright and is strictly for the use of our audience. Any reproduction in whole or in part is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of the GM Motorsport Hour.